I'm here at EWA Sweet 16. Once again, I'm Jason Hevel, interviewing Trent Farrell, the Cruiserweight Champion. Just got screwed out of the tournament by Wesley Mercer. Anything you want to say about that?
Just that if he had somebody else to hit me with a power bomb, and then for him to be able to grab my tights to get the pin, then he might have gotten the belt back by now. But unfortunately for him, he has to try and do that completely on his own, and that's why he failed to take it back so many times.
So we're going to start the interview. How long have you been in the wrestling business?
I had my first match with EWA. It was November 2010. I then went back training a little bit, polish up and everything. I debuted here in Parkville at Tall Cedars, our usual venue, the original Sweet 16 trophy tournament last year.
How did you choose the name Trent Farrell?
I make up a lot of characters and stories and things like that. I feel I'm a very creative person. I've written a lot of stories. I'd like to be a writer in addition to a wrestler. And one of the characters I made up was Trent Farrell. The character was intended to be a goth kid, and like the name Trent just seems to go with like goth kids to me, between like Trent Reznor and stuff like that. It just seemed to fit. I honestly don't remember where I got the name Farrell from, but I thought that the two names went well together.
Who are you trained by?
I've been in and out of wrestling training for the past 10 years. So I've been trained by a lot of people. There are a few people that I'd like to give credit to because they're the ones that I feel had the biggest impact on my training. My first head trainer was Derek Wayne. He taught me a lot of the foundation upon which everyone else built. More recently, since I came to train with EWA to truly start my career, people like Jimmy Stars, Sean Cannon, Drolix when he was still with us, and I really have to give credit to Blood as well. He's been around every time I've been in training. He's been like the one constant presence there. So like I've always been able to go back to him to reference how I've progressed since back then because he had seen me before. And those are the, I believe that's all of the main people that I credit for my training. I believe I represent a good mixture of all of them, since I'm not just trained solely by like one or two people.
Describe the transformation of the bad Trent Farrell to the good Trent Farrell.
I tried to come out and be good initially. My original match, the one in November of 2010, I came out and things kind of fell flat. In addition to that, they didn't put me on any more shows until February, and it just frustrated me. So I kind of took it out on the fans, especially when my entrance on that show got messed up. They're hailing me from my mother's basement and things like that. And it really got to me. So
people throwing peanut butter and jelly.
It was. There was a show last summer when I really noticed that there were some people. This was when I was teaming up with Wes Mercer, who really wanted me to go against him. They didn't want me working with him, and that kind of planted a seed in my head. Like there were people in the crowd who wanted to see me turn against Wes. So when I won the #1 contendership for the Cruiserweight Championship in a match against Sean Cannon, and I realized I had to go up against Wes for the belt, I started to really think about that. And I looked at the list of former champions. The first two people to hold this belt, who feuded over it for a couple of years, were Derek Frazier and Ruckus, who are legends in Maryland wrestling. it's been held by Drew Gulak, who's probably the best technical wrestler I've ever seen. It's been held by Wes multiple times. It's been held by Jimmy Stars multiple times. Adam Cole held it for well over a year. Sean, he held it for over a year. There were a lot of really good former champions and a lot of long, lengthy title reigns, and it made this belt really seem like it meant something when I looked at that. And I knew Wes was going to not want to wrestle. He was going to expect me to just lay down, being his little lackey, but I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that to this belt. And that's pretty much it. The fans pushed me to want to go for this. And I'm grateful to them for that, because I don't think I actually would have taken that step to really stand up against Wes without their urging.
What has been the most physical match you have competed in?
That would have to be last September, the Cruiserweight Scramble match at Rage in a Cage. It was 4 of us. Whoever had the last pinfall or submission would be walking out the champion. It was in a cage, and we had a timer set. It was originally supposed to be a 15-minute match. The timer froze on us. So they kind of estimated whereabout we were and started making announcements over the microphone. The match actually ended up going for a half an hour. So it was a half an hour of being thrown around in a cage, fighting off 3 people trying to retain this belt. And it was my first title defense. And that was easily the most physical match that I had.
Who have been some of your favorite opponents and wrestlers that you have competed with as a tag team or something?
I loved my match with Sexy Steve tonight. I thought that was a great competitive matchup, and I feel like the 2 of us could easily have another match just as good, and I'm very much looking forward to facing him and Jimmy as the Hellcats next week at MWF. Also, I'd love to be able to get another match against Adam Cole. That match back on Friday the 13th, easily match of my career so far, and I'd love to be able to face him once again. I feel like I learned.
Where else do you wrestle?
It was just EWA for the first year of my career. It's just recently that I've started wrestling other places. Make my MWF debut next week on their Night of Legends show, teaming with Sean Cannon against the Hellcats. Sean's a hell of a competitor, and I really do feel like if we can stay on the same page, we have a real chance of winning those belts, but I have no idea if he's going to be able to stay on the same page with me or not. This month I started wrestling down at Ground Zero Wrestling in Virginia, and another place down in Virginia. It's a few different promotions working in tandem. There was a free show held at the In the Biz school, which is run by Jason of the set. I had a match there, and he thought that I did very well and wants to bring me back when they start having their real shows in the next month or 2.